Well, the outcome of last weekend's by-elections across the country in over a dozen states is still much of a topic, really. The APC, of course, winning majority of those seats across senatorial and House of Representatives seats. The PDP won a few, the NNPP as well as APGA. But the ADC, the coalition, didn't win any seats in that election, and there have been lots of talks about the conduct of that election. So we're speaking with the representative of the ADC this morning. Mr. Chike Okogu is the national leader for people with disabilities, and he joins us virtually on the program this morning. Mr. Okogu, you're welcome to the program.
Morning, Cardi. Good morning, Geoffrey. How are you all doing today? And good morning, Nigeria.
Well, we're well. Thank you for asking. So I know that you've been looking at the numbers from that election as a party, the coalition, I should say, trying to understand what exactly played out and, of course, reviewing the conduct. But I want to begin by getting your reaction to this post by the president's aide, Mr. Bayo Ononuga. Just after that election on Saturday, Mr. Ononuga put up this post where he asked the question, how is the market now? And you can see the picture of former Vice President and the presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, as well as other members of the coalition, Mr. Mechi, Mr. Peter Obi, and the rest. So perhaps you might want to speak to that, because I know that was a lot of sarcasm pregnant in that post. How is the market now?
Okay, let me help this now. Ononuga put it better. How much is that what he's trying to say? Note that politics, as Max Weber reminded us in his passage, work, politics as a profession. Politics is not a pursuit of personal gain, but it's always grounded in responsibility and service. Leadership comes in two forms, mind you. Transactional, which is short-term, and which is what we're seeing today. And transformation of that, which inspires people towards lasting change. From McGregor, Burns, and Bernard Bass globally to African voices like Obafemi Olopade, Awolowo, Godwin Awomos, all of them on progress and what have you. Nigeria needs transformational leadership. More than that. As I sit here as the national leader of PWD in ADC. And I stand here to say that ADC is not ready to do politics as usual. We do politics as vocation with responsibility, integrity, and efficiency at the center. This is the leadership that Nigeria deserves. Now, to the election, ADC as a coalition was not part of that election. ADC, the old ADC as a party, yes. Why am I saying so? Everything about INEC uploading participation and contestants in that election had gone in. So some of the candidates fielded were supported by the ADC, the old ADC as a party, not the coalition as it were. And again, Nigerians need to know that 2027 elections, we've seen what happened in this election, which is what I'm talking about, transformational and transactional leadership. We've seen what transpired at this last election. It was a complete scam from beginning to the end. Of course, as a party, as a new coalition, we're not going to come out now and start showing you what we have up our sleeve. No, we won't do that. As a matter of fact, we have studied this election. They have shown their hands about how they are going to run elections in 2027. This was just a test case for us to understand where they're going to. Now that the coalition is in place, you will see a different kind of election and a different kind of support for elections. Bottom line is, the people out there need to know that it is no more business as usual. When we go for the next election, preparatory to the 2027 general election, you will see a new boom. That is when the coalition proper will come out and do what it needs to come in.
All right, Mr. Kogo, let's talk about the outcome of this last election. Do you think the ADC rather, because, you know, for political watchers, it's too early in the day to assess the performance of the ADC. The party is still trying to get its acts together, fighting leadership battle and all of that. So would you say in that sense you were surprised at the outcome of this particular election? Let me posit it so you can respond to it robustly. First, the ADC is pretty new, still trying to build the momentum. The Labour Party is in two factions, one by Nenadi Usman, one by Julius Abure. The PDP is just trying to harmonize itself as we speak. But even within the PDP, we have loyalists that are working for the APC and loyalists that are working for the ADC. So the NMPP seem to be a bit slightly stable, although they have their own leadership issue. So would you say it's a surprise that the APC had to take this, given the state of every other party, including the new ADC?
As a matter of fact, we're not surprised. You remember the adage on shoelaces and running shoes. The APC have their... Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. You know, we're not surprised. You know the popular saying about running shoes and shoelaces. APC had their shoelaces all strapped on with running. You know, they have the modern trends in running shoes. ADC as a party, a new coalition, of course. When an extra takes off, you expect the initial turbulence. We're going through that turbulence. The intra-party fightings and all that I must confess that they have played a significant role in the outcome of this election. Not the ADC, mind you. As far as ADC is concerned, we have sorted out everything that concerns our intra-party politics and doctrine. Any of that noise you hear out there is not within the ADC. I must correct that. Those are meddlesome interlopers who want to get into the scheme of things for us. For other political parties, like you mentioned, the PDP, Labour Party, and all that, they too, those with us in the coalition are perfect. We're good to go with them. I don't want to say too much about it's national TV. This is not the time and place to begin to unravel and unveil our strategies for the next major election. Those internal party challenges, I tell you here, they're not a bother to us. It's not affecting the smooth sailing of the party. Meetings are going on. Strategy sessions are going on. Everything that we need to do to win elections are going on as we speak. Consultations are going on. Let me put it in small Yoruba, even than people. Meaning that when they ran back, scoots back, it has gone to gather strength. When it's gone, you have to pull the trigger back for the gun to unload. So very soon we're pulling the trigger back. That's why you have seen us, fighting out and go back a bit. But Nigerians will watch out for the greatest unleashing of political onslaught that is about to happen. It's now is building, and I can tell you that ADC is doing their work to make that happen. Nigerians, consultations are going on. So Nigerians who know what I'm talking about understand what is going on. All the shenanigans that just happened recently, I call them shenanigans. It was just a show of shame and a show of incompetence from everybody that was involved in those elections, I tell you.
All right. Spoken like a true politician, but I just want to have you speak to this, because pre-2015, you should have seen the kind of hope that the APC ignited in the minds of Nigerians. For the first time, you had Nigerians volunteering, donating, just giving themselves without asking for anything in return, just to support the APC. The party found a way to unite Nigeria, maybe as a result of the anger, the perpetual disappointment in governance and all of that. So all of those energies, the APC found a way to harness it together, and that propelled it to leadership position from 2015 up until this moment. And that's the same APC that you are trying to get out of government because, I mean, of what you've described as, poor leadership, poor governance, and the rest. So what lesson have you learned from the APC? Because a lot of people will look at the ADC, ironically, it actually rhymes, APC, ADC, and say, we've been here, we've done that. What are you going to do differently?
Thank you very much. I like the question, what are we going to do differently? ADC, first and foremost, is not a party that will come here and come on TV or anywhere for that matter to run people down. That is not the work that we're here to do. I will ask you a question. In 2015, when you said change came, in 2015, 1.5 million naira will buy you $10,000. Today, as I speak, 1.5 million naira cannot buy you $1,000 10 years after. So what is ADC going to do differently? ADC is going to set Nigeria back on the path of prosperity. And that's why we have gathered every, egghead, brilliant people to come in and chart a proper way forward for Nigeria. Mistakes have been done. People who made the mistakes, let them, they have done their thing. So we're not bothered about what has happened. We are bothered about how to take Nigeria forward. What are the mistakes that we have seen? We have noticed that our naira has been grossly devaluated. Are we exporting anything? Obviously, no. Are we producing anything? I mean, even the petroleum, even that that is producing for us, are we buying the petrol in Nigeria? I mean, are the refineries working? In 10 years, look at how Nigeria has gone from zero to minus, and you tell me that they brought hope. What change? Of course, ADC will be.
Well, very interesting days.
Now, sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay, we lost you momentarily. You can land on that point quickly.
Yes. ADC is going to bring the real path of prosperity for Nigeria. That is what we're going to do differently.
Okay, well, the coming weeks, months, and years will, of course, give us answers to those questions. But I must say that we saw a lot of the leaders from the ADC campaigning, from Mr. Peter Obi to Mr. El Rufai and others campaigning for ADC during this by-election. So indeed, the coalition participated in that sense because they campaigned, even though he's in the Labour Party and all of that. But we have to thank you so much for your time. We've been speaking with the ADC national leader for PWDs, Mr. Chike Okogu. Thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you very much.